Raise Your Vibration by Kyle Gray. Vibes in the body. What lies behind us and what lies before us are tiny matters compared to what lies within us. Attributed to Ralph Waldo Emerson. The physical body is the home of the soul and the space where the mind dwells. For that reason, the physical you needs loving care and attention so that it can support the raising of your vibration. For many years, I left my physical body behind. My spiritual practice was all centered on the soul and the mind. Everything I did on a spiritual level was loving and nourishing, but at the same time I knew deep within my bones that my body wasn't responding or representing the intentions I was making and the work I was doing on the inside. I know that, like me, you've probably tried a million different health fads, eaten kale, and even dabbled with being vegan. And I'm not here to lecture you on your diet. More to help you find a way of keeping the whole you, body, mind, and soul, radiating at a higher vibration. I'll start by telling you what happened to me. The psychic diet. For my teenage years, I worked professionally doing spiritual readings and would be out doing them late into the evenings. All the lifting of my energy to read people's vibes and contact the spirit world would make me feel high and excited. I would go home via fast food joints to pick up heavy, greasy, and sludgy food that would bring me back to earth. In the end, I became reliant on heavy foods to switch off, go to sleep, and slow down my overactive mind. In truth, I thought this was how it worked. Most of the psychics I worked alongside and looked up to had their vices. They would eat heavy meals at night in order to sleep, and many of them smoked and drank a lot of alcohol to switch off. But it felt inauthentic, and it made me feel out of place and alone. I knew my body was becoming overweight, and I felt fat. I was getting pulled into a pattern I knew wasn't in line with my authentic self, or the lifting of my vibration. Now, to get it clear, I'm not saying that skinnier people have a higher vibration or are more spiritually connected, but I am saying that being more conscious of the physical self and how you fuel it helps you move to higher levels of awareness. The truth is, when you have a strong spiritual practice, you have tools to keep you safe, grounded, and focused. When these tools are being used, you won't need to eat foods that are heavy or make you want to sleep in order to switch off. Consciously eating. When I started to delve deeply into spirituality, I felt the call to become a vegetarian. I'd read several spiritual books that recommended a vegetarian diet to keep your vibration as high as possible. One of the books suggested that when we consumed animals, we were consuming the pain and fear from their death. This produced a haunting image in my mind that has never left me. I don't believe that we have to be vegetarian to have a high vibration, but it is a personal choice that I believe has supported my path. I have taken it a little bit further, too, by consuming no animal products except for eggs from a local organic chicken keeper, who does it for a hobby, not profit, and I avoid gluten and wheat products as much as I can. Eating consciously means eating in a way that you know is causing you, the animal, if you choose to eat meat, and the land the least harm possible. If you are eating meat, for example, it means choosing to get it from a sustainable farm that treats the animals in a loving way, or as loving as possible, by allowing them to roam free. The truth is, there are unconscious vegans and vegetarians out there who eat a lot of foods that aren't good for them or the environment. Some people might also be vegan so as not to eat an animal, but at the same time wear leather sandals, for instance, or not recycle their bottles. There's a real call for balance in all of this. Eating consciously encourages you to go as natural as possible. avoiding genetically modified foods, tinned foods, and anything that's been mucked around with. I would recommend going as organic as possible, eating fresh and local when possible, and choosing foods that you know make your body happy and healthy. I remember learning the basics of body messages from a Louise Hay tape. She explained that the body lets you know how energetic food is by how you feel. For example, if you eat something and 20 minutes later you want to go straight to bed and sleep, it's a message loud and clear that your body doesn't like it. Food is a fuel, and it's also something you put into the temple that holds your soul. For that reason, you want to choose food that has been treated well and is nourishing. Now, I've changed my diet. I feel good when I eat, and I feel good about what I eat. I treat myself and eat out often, but always choose places that cater to my needs and make me feel good. I'm well known for leaving restaurants or avoiding buffets or even entire events if they're not going to work for my choice of diet and my body's energy system. Just recently in Paris, I got the hit to leave a restaurant that sold all different kinds of game, including animals that had been hunted that day. It didn't feel in line with my ethos, and the truth was I was going to be eating a bare plate of potatoes and salad, which would have been good food, but I wanted to be nourished, not starved. So instead of keeping quiet in order not to disturb the peace of my friends, I was honest and left. Blessing your food. Blessing your food is a wonderful way of lifting the energy of what you're about to consume. That way you let the vital life force in the meal be activated and your body be nourished and supported. There are several ways you can bless your food. You can visualize it being washed in a golden light. You can imagine light coming from your hands when you place them over it, or you can just say a good old prayer. Thank you, Universal Life Force, for blessing this food with unconditional love. I allow it to nourish every cell of my being. In our home, we have love heart-shaped plates, and all our crockery has the word love stamped onto it. It's a perfect reminder to be mindful at mealtimes. Blessing your belly. I realized quite early on my spiritual pathway that it would sometimes be pretty easy to forget blessing my food, and it could also be very easy to forget I was eating it. In his book, The Miracle of Mindfulness, Thich Nhat Hanh explains that mindfulness is awareness of the present moment and what we are doing in it. I know for one that I'm not always mindful. I'll often forget I'm eating something because I'll be emailing at the same time or even texting. So, when I forget to bless my food, I shift my perceptions by blessing the food in my belly. Sure, it might not be in front of me, but it doesn't mean I can't raise the vibration of what I've just eaten. To bless the food in your belly, place your hands on your belly, close your eyes and breathe towards your hands. As you do this, imagine that pure divine light is coming from Source or the universe to your heart and extending down each arm through your fingers into your belly. Then say something like, "Thank you, universe, for blessing the food in my belly. It feels so good to be nourished and well, keeping your body clean and clear." As we've already acknowledged, the body is the temple in which the soul resides, and for that reason it's important to keep it radiating and operating at the highest level of vibration we possibly can. There are a few things that I do regularly for my body that I believe keep it working well and keep my energy clean. Salt baths. Sea salt baths are amazing. For hundreds of years, sea salt has been recognized as a sacred tool to clear away anything that is not serving us. I like using pink Himalayan salt in the bath, and I've always felt nourished and clear after doing it. I believe it cleanses out the body's energy system and allows the energy centers, the chakras, to express themselves clearly. All you have to do is put a generous amount of sea salt or pink Himalayan salt in a nice warm bath. I like to put a few drops of my favorite essential oils in the water too, in order to add to the luxurious experience. Green juices. I love a green juice because it's an easy way to nourish the body. Putting fresh, organic fruits and vegetables together for a refreshing morning juice is an awesome way to kickstart the day. I believe a healthy gut is important, and I've always noticed having a green juice stimulates my digestive system in a healthy way to release and let go. My favorite recipe for organic green juice is simple: apple, celery, kale, cucumber, carrot, ginger, lemon, and spirulina. Colonics. Probably not the first thing you thought about when I was talking about raising the energy of the body, right? Well, you know that colonic irrigation is all about clearing out your colon. I believe it clears out what you don't need on an energetic level, too. I remember my first experience of colonic hydrotherapy. I didn't expect it to have such a clearing effect on my life. It was as if the room it made on the inside of my digestive system made physical space in my life. I felt more emotionally together, and as if a weight had literally been lifted from my body and my energy. I highly recommend visiting a therapist once or twice a year for a good clear out. Yoga and exercise. Another great way to raise the energy of the body is through yoga and other forms of exercise. I don't know about you, but once I started to exercise more regularly in a way that pleased me, I would leave the class or gym feeling high on life. That feeling of being excited, unstoppable, and energized is what's happening to the vibrations we give off too. If you want to live a high vibrational lifestyle, it's important to find a regular exercise or yoga routine that suits you, your body, and your level of fitness. For me, a daily practice of Ashtanga yoga and regular visits to a personal trainer really help me keep my body in shape and my energy high. To-do list. To look after your body and raise your vibes, do the following. Check in with your diet and nutrition. Are you eating foods that are making you feel lethargic and drained? How can you improve your existing eating patterns? Are you eating too much or not enough? Begin to bless your food on a regular basis, and if you forget, why not try the blessing your belly suggestion I shared above? Add a regular sea salt bath to your spiritual routine. See how it amps up your vibes. Have you tried making a green juice or smoothie at home? If you don't know where to start, your local health food store or juice bar is a great place to seek inspiration. If colonics don't speak to you, why not try a detox to kickstart your vibes? Jason Vale's juice detoxes are brilliant. When did you last exercise? How did it make you feel? Find a class that makes your heart sing and your body soar in energy.